Hey, it's your girl Nicole, and welcome to the Risers Hub podcast. Happy Monday. Let me tell you something. These weekends during the fall season go by so fast. It's like you blink and it's Monday. So how you feeling out there? How are things going? It's still crazy out there, I know, and a lot of things are getting hit our way left and right. And I hope that everyone's practicing self-care by limiting your time on social media, spending time with family and friends, if that's something that calms you down, and trying to move forward in the best way possible, because Mondays are always going to come. Challenges are always going to be there. But you know what else? Your peace of mind and the way that you handle things will always be there too. So today I just want to touch on a few things because I have had a lot of conversation this weekend. A lot. Very in depth. And one of the common denominators in all these conversations is dealing with family and friends. And the holidays are right around the corner. And I don't know how I'm going to do this. I don't know how I'm going to do that. It's just the anxiety and the anxiousness that we all have moving forward, because there are a lot of families, a lot of friends that are in situations that are very divisive in so many ways. And it's not just politics, but it's family dynamics, friend dynamics, things that are going on in our lives, and people not slowing down and understanding that people have things going on and there's not a lot of empathy for each other right now. And I just want to talk about what a wellness journey is, how a wellness coach can help you get through your wellness journey, and also, too, talking about boundaries, which is going to be really important during this season, because I'm grappling with that as well on my personal level and with other people setting boundaries around themselves and me setting boundaries around myself and having to deal with all these different dynamics and navigating through life with family members and friends that can be a little difficult. And you might think that you're the nicest, sweetest person in the world, but you might be a cancer to somebody else. First of all, I want to talk about what a wellness journey is. And the reason why I want to talk about what a wellness journey is, we talk about this every week. And I have a lot of people ask me, like, okay, what is a wellness journey? Okay, I'm going to give you the Google definition of a wellness journey. I'm telling you, you can Google it right now and you can read along with me. And the reason why I'm doing this is because it's a really good definition. And I'm going to also give you the definition that I have as a wellness coach. Okay. A wellness journey is a lifelong process of making choices and taking actions to improve your physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, and social well being. It's a personalized path that evolves as you do. And it's not about quick fixes or a final destination. Here are some tips of starting your wellness journey. You can make small, sustainable changes. Start with gentle exercises like walking, yoga, or stretching. Connect with others. Find a supportive community of like-minded people. Be self-aware. Identify your emotions and how they affect your thoughts and behaviors. Practice movement. Try different workouts until you find something you enjoy. Wellness is more than just being free of illness or pain. It's about thriving in all aspects of your life and being energized, focused, and resilient. So for me, what a wellness journey is for you is taking care of your body, your mind, and your soul and or spirit. And to me, it's a whole thing. Yes, you need to be physically fit. You also need to be mindfully fit. I feel like you need to be spiritually fit, and it doesn't matter what you believe in. This is where your values come in, what you believe and how you're going to move forward. And the reason why I'm reading this off of Google is because I like that it says it's a lifelong process of making choices and taking actions. So this is something that goes on throughout your life, because as you build your wellness journey, you're going to hit certain milestones. And when you hit those certain milestones, you want to maintain those milestones or you want to continue to improve on those milestones. So that's why it's going to be an ongoing thing. Also, too, the reason why it's an ongoing lifelong process is because once you've decided to go on this wellness journey and you decide to improve yourself and to make the choices that are going to benefit you in your life and hopefully others around you, you're going to have to always continue to maintain those choices and moving forward. Why am I saying this? Because life is going to challenge you along the way. As a believer, the one thing that we talk about is when you're a believer, get ready because God, Jesus Christ, whatever you believe in, there are going to be challenges along the way, and you are going to have to use those values that you've established to move forward. And let me tell you, there are going to be people and situations and things in your life that will challenge you. And if you have established that base of your spirituality, your calmness, your peace, your joy, those are the things that are going to be tested. And how are you going to behave in those situations? So it is a lifelong process. And it talks about physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, and social well being. It just sounds like there's just so much. And just moving through the process sounds tiring. But if you break it down to your body, your mind, and your spirit, all those other things fall underneath those three categories because those are things that you're always going to work. If you're working on your physicality, you are going to have discipline and you're going to have to figure out a way to make sure that it's consistent and that it becomes a way of life. That's discipline and that's dealing with your emotions and pushing through your mental when you don't want to do it. All those things play and they interact with each other. So the wellness journey is a lifelong process and it will evolve as you evolve. All right. And then also, too, what I like about it is when they say wellness is more than just being free of illness and pain. Now, the reason why I'm doing the wellness coaching and the reason why I believe in these wellness journeys is because I've said this before in other podcasts. I've said this before when I'm speaking to people, is that you can get your body in shape all day, all week, all month, all year long. But if your mental and your spiritual are not in the right place at the right time, or if you're not working on those two particular elements in your life, you're going to have problems physically. It's going to be hard to get through a workout if you're mentally not strong, if you're spiritually not strong. And those are things that you have to work on in order for everything to work together. And sometimes your physical is going to be off, and other times your mental is going to be off. But if you understand these three aspects of your life, these three things in your life are the three things that are going to be part of your wellness journey, and that you're always going to be working on it, then you can sit back when something isn't working for you and go, okay, where am I today in my wellness journey? Instead of thinking of all the 8 things, let's narrow it down to the 3. Okay, physically, I'm here. So what can I do to fix that? Let's see. Spiritually, I'm here. So what can I do to fix that? And then mentally, I'm there. So what do I need to work on that so I can move forward in all these 3 areas of my life? So that's why I wanted to talk about what a wellness journey looks like. And then someone like me, a wellness coach, I come in and first of all, let me make it very clear. I am not a therapist. I can refer you to therapists. I can provide resources from real therapists that have shared their resources with me. But a wellness coach is going to tell you, look, in order for us to move forward, I want to see that you're going to work on your mental health with a mental professional like a therapist. I'm going to be here to help you set goals, create a clear plan, and provide support for you because I want you to be the person driving your ship. And I'm just been down at the bottom, tugging along, helping you out, getting you where you got to go, and making sure that all the goals that you set, you are accountable for those goals. You are accountable for the plan that you've put together that you feel comfortable with. And I'm only here to suggest things that will help you and push you forward. But I am not the person telling you what to do as far as how it's going to look. You are steering your own boat. So when I'm on these podcasts and I'm sharing all this information with you, I just want you to pull from the podcast on things that are helping you within your life and how you can add this into your wellness journey. The things that I talk about, I'm not perfect myself, and I do have my own coaches and therapy in my own life to help me move forward. And I make mistakes and I have to ground myself and reestablish myself and start over in many aspects of my life because I'm always trying to improve. And when I hit a milestone, yes, I try my best to practice self care and I try my best to pat myself on the back because I want to continue to move forward in my wellness journey. And that's all that I want for you. So, the reason why I'm laying all this information out before we start talking about moving into the holidays with gratitude and kindness, because November is all about gratitude and kindness, I want to establish what wellness journeys are, what a wellness coach can do for you, and how it can help you move through the holiday season. And like I said, this past weekend, I've had a lot of conversations within my family, within my circle of friends, with complete strangers. And with all the conversation that I had, everyone is preparing for the holidays in their own way, whether they are hosting or cooking or gathering or traveling. Everyone has something going on. But the one common denominator that I have heard in these conversations is anxiety over family and close friends when it comes to sitting down at that Thanksgiving table and having turkey with everyone and breaking bread. It's about talking politics. It's about talking about race. It's about talking about cooking the perfect meal, starting on time, including everyone, not including certain people, and family judgment and comments. We all are going to have to deal with this. And so when you're on a wellness journey and it comes to family and the holidays, many of us, this is why like we have these New Year's resolutions and we're going to start over in January and because it's so easy to throw in the towel and let go of so many things that we worked on all year to be a better person. And I'm here to challenge you and to say, please hang in there when it comes to your wellness journey. If it's a certain way that you eat or a certain way that you're navigating, or you've gotten to a place where you're calm and you have joy in your heart, do not let others cross that line and you throw it all in the trash and you figure, oh, I'll just start again in January. Now, having said that, in a wellness journey, of course, you can start over whenever you want, however you want. You can move forward in different aspects of your life. But wouldn't it be nice to just not have to start over? It's like when you're working out and you've been working out for 8 weeks and then something happens like you get sick and you have to throw in the towel because you're sick. So you stop working out and you have to start all over again when you get better. And oh my gosh, it's so hard to pick up the weight. It's so hard to get started and you're dragging your feet. Let's not do that this time. I want to challenge you and just say, please hang in there. Talk to a safe person in your life before moving forward with your family and friends this holiday season. Talk to your therapist or someone who can provide a safe, motivating, encouraging environment and feedback for you to continue to move forward. Now, one of the main topics this weekend was boundaries. And the question was, how do I set healthy boundaries around myself when it comes to my family and close friends during the holiday season? The concern is that you've done all this work and you're in the middle of your own wellness journey and you don't want anyone, not one person, to convince you to do something different after you've worked so hard to get to where you are now. And this is really when all the hard work that you started back in January, February, March is when it starts to crumble down and you forget who you want to be and where you want to go because you have family members and friends saying, oh, girl, just forget that diet. Or, oh, just forget such and such, or forget this boundary. We family, we girls, we this, we're that. And then you get upset because you fall into that trap and you have to start all over again. So, how do I create boundaries without upsetting someone or making it uncomfortable? So, I looked into a lot of different lists and read up on a lot of different things while having these conversations. And there was one list that really resonated with me from Talkspace.com. And please talk to a therapist or your safe person in your life. Start there and ask them, how can I navigate through the holiday season and get through it with my beliefs, values, and boundaries still intact by December 31st? Okay. So, number one is to talk to a therapist. Number two, practice saying no. Also, practice setting the boundary. Practice setting the boundary and thinking about what their reaction is going to be and how you are going to react to what they say to you. That is going to be something that is very important to do. Number three, accept and remember that your needs are important. There's a reason why you set the boundary. It could be as simple as just having peace of mind, but it also can be because there's something that you are following in your life that you don't want to cross or mess up in your life. So it's very important that this boundary is set and that your needs are important. Okay. Number four, be realistic about what will be healthy for you and what will work for you. So when you're setting a boundary and you're thinking about the people that you're setting a boundary with, what does that look like? And once you set the boundary, will it be easy or difficult for them to cross that line? And is it realistic? Is your boundary realistic? Can you actually create this and say, no, I don't want A, B, and C, and it's going to be easily followed? Because if it's not easily followed, that's something that you need to talk to your therapist and your safe person and or your safe person about, making sure that when you create this boundary, it is realistic and that people should be able to follow it. So that moves right into number five and number six. Number five is you can be clear, firm, and kind. So it's very important that your boundary is, like I said before, realistic from number four, but it also has to be clear and you have to be firm. And firm does not mean that you're being disrespectful. Okay. Now, moving into number six. So, number five was you can be clear, firm, and kind. And number six is to be direct. Being direct is being clear and firm about your needs. And don't walk away leaving people guessing. So, making sure that the boundary is clear, firm, and direct. And what I would also suggest too is that when you're creating these boundaries, especially when it's like with one other person, make sure someone else is around if you can when you're making these boundaries, because then that way you have a witness. You can have someone else there saying, yes, I understood what you were saying and they were very clear and I respect it. And so then if that other person cannot follow, at least you have someone there knowing that you make clear and firm and direct boundaries. Okay. Number seven. Now, this is something that could be a challenge for you. Once you've made the boundary and it's clear and it's direct, be willing to walk away when you need to. So I'm going to read directly from Talkspace.com because these 2 points under walk away when you need to is extremely important for you to hear. You never have to stay in a situation that feels dangerous or toxic. If boundaries are not being respected, you can always leave. You can try to talk through things if you feel that's the best route to go. But at a certain point, especially if it's been difficult for any amount of time, you can always simply leave. You do not have to apologize and you do not need to explain to anybody unless you want to. You've set your boundaries, and if they're not being respected, then you can remove yourself from the situation guilt free. All right, we're going to move on because I want you to ponder on those 2 points, okay? Number 8, remember you are in charge, and this is your wellness journey. If you're working to improve your life, boundaries are going to be a key factor in achieving your goals. Number 9, be assertive when you're standing up for yourself. It's not being disrespectful to anyone. Remember, being assertive does not equal being disrespectful. Being assertive is standing up for yourself and making your boundaries clear and firm. And number 10, make a list. So when you create your boundary, I want you to make a list, and this list is going to include the following. Remind others of your boundaries in the most gentle way possible. The next one, remove yourself from the situation if it becomes dangerous or toxic. Next, call your safe person. Plan ahead to chat with your person just in case things go south, okay? And then lastly, leave the situation entirely. So needless to say, a lot of the conversations this weekend have had a lot to do with boundaries and how to handle family during a time when we are all, again, so divisive in so many ways. I have one friend that I talk to. She is so sweet and she wants everyone to get along and not argue or fight because in her mind, we have one life and we're not promised tomorrow and we should just all apologize and move on. And I love her for that. She knows who she is, but I always push back because on that theory of only one life and we're not promised tomorrow, she's right about that. We only have one life and we're not promised tomorrow. But why allow someone to step all over you, cross your boundary, treat you a certain way, and it all makes you feel a certain way? That's why you're creating the boundary to begin with. And then just letting them go about their business and sleeping well at night. And then you're over here stressed and going crazy because you let someone cross your boundary. You only have one life. You're not promised tomorrow. So why not create boundaries to help you stay safe within yourself, within your environment, within your own mental capacity, so that you can move forward with happiness and joy and excitement? I do believe in happiness, peace, and joy, but I also understand how tough life can be for so many different people. I do believe in happiness, peace, and joy. And I do believe that we only have this one life and we're not promised tomorrow. So, how I see it is that there are so many people out there, whether you're rich, poor, middle class, healthy, not healthy. And when you're working to build your mountain of happiness, peace, and joy, you've done the work. You're doing the work. And each time you hit a milestone, you will be tested. And when you pass each test and you push forward into your wellness journey, you don't need someone. You don't need anyone to walk in and take away that perfect test score that you work so hard to get. Life is already challenging, and boundaries help you navigate through life with more confidence, safety, and establishment. So I believe that no one has the right to take that away from you. Also, here's something else I want you to think about. You know how you go into a theater and there are all these different rooms, there's different movies in the theater, and you can pick and choose where you want to go? In the book, I believe it's either The Four Agreements or The Mastery of Love by Don Miguel Ruiz. And he was talking about how you can have this theater and you can play the same exact movie in each theater. And then all the people who were involved in your life, in a situation, in a moment in time, each person goes into the theater and they're watching the same exact scenario. Even though they're watching the same exact scenario, your sister, your brother, your friend, your mate, whoever, each person sees that scenario very differently. Why? Because we all have our own way of thinking. We have our own way of processing everything throughout the day. And so remembering that when you're hanging out with your family and friends, when you're in the middle of a scenario, everybody's seeing it in their own way. It's almost like how a rumor starts. A, B, and C happened. But by the time it gets to the 20th person, X, P, and Q happen and not A, B, and C. Because everyone is going to interpret something differently. Everyone's going to throw something in that scenario that's a little bit different. And so if you can understand that, I want you to try and give other people grace. I would love to see you work on holding your boundaries and practicing no, or practicing talking about your boundaries before you present them to people. And then be prepared to deal with however the outcome is going to be, whether it's going to be an argument, whether it's going to be another situation out of that situation, or it's simply that you walked away. I want you to practice how you're going to behave and react when you set your boundaries during this holiday season. You know what you're dealing with when it comes to your family and friends, and you know what you want out of your life, and you have set the goals to get to where you want to be, and you've established a foundation for yourself. And again, like I said at the beginning of this podcast, I want to challenge you to hold on to your values and what you've established for yourself, and hang on to your boundaries. Do not apologize for your boundaries, and move forward in a way that's peaceful for you and that is going to help you continue into your wellness journey. Now, there's going to be some shifts and some navigating and some changes along the way, but don't give up what you've established this entire year to make your life better. Okay? I would love to see us keep rising together. And I have so many things that I want to share with you in the new year. But right now, it is November. It is the holiday season. And I want you to just remember you are important. The things that you are working for to establish for yourself in your life are important and worthy. And I want you to be accountable for everything that you do. And I want you to be proud of the things that you're accomplishing, whether they're the littlest things or the biggest things. And I want you to have a great holiday season. Until next time, and as always, keep rising. Hey, thanks for tuning in. Remember, this podcast is meant for both education and entertainment purposes only. I am not a licensed therapist, so it's crucial to consult your physician, psychotherapist, or qualified health professionals for personalized advice. Until next time, take care. If you're enjoying this podcast, I would like to ask you to please subscribe, like, and share. That's what they told me to do at the end of this podcast. So could you hook me up? Thanks. Bye.